Hey, I'm Boomer, and this is my 2 weeks of collecting comics. I did this, I think, recorded the first one 2 weeks ago, and this is what I got in the last 2 weeks. So let's get started. First, I'll try to tell you what I thought of the book, and yeah, I'll just tell you what I thought of the book. First one up. First one, non Spider Man related. There's a lot of Spider Man coming up, so yeah. Is Shatterstar #1. I enjoyed this book. I haven't read much Shatterstar. I am a Deadpool fan, and I knew he was in the movie, and I knew he was part of X Force. I didn't read much X Force growing up. I was more of an X-Men Spider-Man kid. But yeah, it was a good one. A kind of interesting take on what happens to characters when they get stuck in other dimensions. Even though I know there's more to it, there's something's gonna happen. And I like a lot of history on Shatterstar in there, which was nice because, like I said, I didn't know much about Shatterstar. I only knew a couple things. And next, I got, of course, my favorite, my #1 fave, Deadpool. I don't know why people keep calling this the variant. It's not a variant. It's the #1 cover. Anyways, I like this one. This was better than number 4. I actually like this one. Once I figured out these were all one-shots, pretty much, they turned out to be a little better to read, knowing that I wasn't missing anything. I think the hard part was I thought I was missing a lot of stuff when I was reading it. Why is there so much glare coming on my glasses? I have glasses. Next is when I start into my Spider-Man. Now, yes, I've only gone through 2 books. I have a ton of books. I got a lot of books the last 2 weeks. A lot of them are Spider-Man. But there's a reason why a lot of them are Spider-Man. This one is Spider Deadpool. Actually, isn't that a thing now? I didn't mean to say Spider Moon, but isn't like a thing now in Infinity? Whatever. This is Deadpool or Spider-Man versus Deadpool, issue 40. I really like these. No one talks about this book that much, but this is a really good book. I don't know. Maybe it lost people around the middle. I really like this book. Like, I have, for example, let me just move my dinner plate. For example, I have the trade paperback up to volume 5 of this. I really like this. I really like the dynamic between Spider-Man and Deadpool, so I don't know why not many people talk about it. I know a lot of people are kind of over Deadpool right now, but since I call him my spirit animal, I'm not over it. I like reading Deadpool stories, even when they're not that great. This one was pretty good. This one was like him betting like old folks. It was like senior citizens in like a walking marathon, and he was betting on them with this other guy. And then it turned into Night of the Living Dead. What's that? I can't remember the movie when the zombies in the mall. I don't remember the movie. Like Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, something like that. It turns into kind of like that, kind of an homage to that, really. People, and to be honest, Deadpool is written with a lot of depth in this book, and I don't think it gives enough credit where credit's due. Oh, sorry. Senior citizen one was this one. This is the one when they say goodbye to Matrix. This guy. Was it the LMD? I got my Deadpool books mixed up, but no, the Deadpool Spider-Man one, Deadpool has a lot of depth to him, and I don't think that gets enough credit in that book. Spider-Man brings out the good in Deadpool. Anyways, moving on. Typhoid Fever Spider-Man. This book was a trip. It confused you because I think it was meant to confuse you because of Typhoid Mary in this and how her powers work, and it was almost like her powers was working on your mind. So this book was a trip, but it was very good. I like this book. I'm really looking forward to the X-Men one because I haven't read an X-Men book in such a long time. And I know it's not an X-Men book technically, but they're in it. I haven't read an X-Men book in a long time. That's why I'm really looking forward to the Uncanny X-Men when it starts coming out. Actually, I'm going to do this one first. Next is, what if Peter Parker became the Punisher? I like this. It was just a one-shot. It was alright. Thought it was interesting. I really liked how it ended. Actually, I loved how this ended. I heard somebody on YouTube talk about who was it? I think it was it Comic Book University? He was talking about when he read this book that how it should go is the what ifs, and then at the end of every one if is the start of a new what if, which would be interesting. And it's the way how this ends could do that, but I don't think they're going that way. But that would be interesting. Next up is probably my favorite book going right now. The Amazing Spider-Man #7. I love The Amazing Spider-Man. I'm really starting to love Boomerang. Boomerang is starting to become one of my favorite. We're going to say anti-hero now? Is he turning good now? If he is, I really like. Can we have a buddy cop? I don't care if it's just a one shot of like. Oh my god. Can we put Deadpool and Boomerang together? Because that would be interesting. But, no, this book, really enjoyed it. I'm really liking where the story's going, even though it's just, I think it's one more issue of this, and then they're going back to the main story. This is just kind of a side one until Otley gets back. Still really good. I really like this one. Next, it's an older book. Actually, I haven't read it yet. Hence why it's not taped. Is Edge of Spider-Geddon #2. This is the one, Edge of Spider-Geddon, I was missing. This is the second printing. I wanted the first one. I'm not going to complain about not getting the first one because I kind of want the book, so I'm not really going to complain about having the second printing, even though I really like this cover more than the other covers. And I really need to read this. But yeah, #2, Edge of Spider-Geddon. I haven't read it yet. I'm going to probably sometime tonight or sometime this week. The rest of these are pretty much all like Spider-Geddon stuff, Spider-Verse stuff. Next is the Superior Octopus #1. I really like Dr. Octavius in this. This is my first. Hi, phone. How's it going? This is my first how do you say, introduction to the Superior Spider-Man, Superior Octopus, whatever you want to call him. This is my first introduction to him. I really like this character. If he did stop with the old time sayings, I think he'd be a really badass character. But I don't know. I guess it's the charm of Dr. Octopus. Next is Spider-Man Spider-Geddon #1. I liked it. I like where it's going. For some reason, people, they keep saying they don't understand where it's going. I'm like, it's going to be a civil war for the spiders. Because actually, here, I'm going to open it up and prove to people, because it's not a spoiler. It says it in the book. And I think people just keep looking over it. Where is it? Shush phone. It says it right in the book. Right there. It's a spider civil war. When will one superior spider go too far in the fight against the inheritors? It tells you right here what's going to happen. People are like, it's just the same story hashed out. No. We're gonna have some spider on spider violence and probably some deaths of some spider on spider violence before they even get to the inheritors. And I kind of like that. It's kind of gonna be interesting because it has nothing to do with Peter Parker. It's like I think it's Superior Spider-Man versus his group of spiders versus Miles Morales and his group, and we get to see who chooses what side. So it's all Civil War again. Now that I got the Spider-Geddon stuff out of the way, when I first started collecting comics, I decided to start collecting the Spider-Verse comics. That I think started in 2014. I won a big run of a big thing to start collecting. I know there's some expensive books in Collection, namely Edge of Spider-Verse #2, the first appearance of Spider-Gwen, which is like almost $100 to $200 to $300 comic book, which is probably the only book I'm not going to be able to get unless it's like a 6th or 5th printing of it or something like that. I might be able to get it that way. I'm also probably gonna get the book, the graphic novel of the whole thing, just to actually read the stories. But I actually do want to collect the comic books of it, and I made a pretty good dent in it. Let me get these in order. I did a pretty good dent. I got Spider-Woman #1. And I also got I haven't read these yet. I'm kind of waiting on them. And Spider-Woman #2. There's 2 more of the Spider-Woman run. I have to get 3 and 4 to finish off the Spider-Verse for the Spider-Woman, which my local shop had 4. I saw they had 4. They didn't have 3 though, which is kind of a pain. Yeah, because I made a nice and I have Amazing Spider-Man #9, which is part 1. Amazing Spider-Man 13, which is part 5. Amazing Spider-Man part 6, or 14, which is part 6. And Amazing Spider-Man 15, which is the prologue. I am just missing... Which ones am I missing? I'm missing 7, 8, and 10 out of the Amazing Spider-Man run for the Spider-Verse. So I've pretty much got all the Amazing Spider-Man ones. It's the other ones I feel that are going to be a little bit of a pain to find. But I will try my best to find those. And that is all I got the last 2 weeks. Next Wednesday is a pretty light week for me, money-wise and other. Because, did I put it back? Otherwise, because, I don't get paid till Friday, which kind of sucks. But it's alright. There's only 3 books I'm planning on getting next week, which is at least Mr. and Mrs. X #4, Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man #311, which is a Spider-Geddon book, because I will complete the Spider-Geddon run. And those are really the only two books are kind of on my pick list. I do have Venom Annual #1 there just to pick it up for reasons. It's for Venom's first annual, so I felt maybe it's a key book. I don't know, but no, that's next week, and the week after that is just a ton of Spider-Man because there's about 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like There's 4 Spider-Geddon books coming out in 2 weeks, so that will be an interesting week, including Return of Wolverine #2 and Deadpool or Black Panther versus Deadpool, which I'm going to get because I love Deadpool and it's a new one. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully, I will be getting my Comic Boxer box next week. I am hoping. I haven't heard anything from them yet about that, and I should be getting my Deadpool box sometime next week. I am guessing because they say it's on its way, so hopefully I'll get it next week. Anyways, have a good day. If you want to give us a subscribe, go ahead. We're on Twitch. I've been sporadic on Twitch lately, but hopefully I can get back into normal get her done mode on Twitch because I like streaming on Twitch. It's fun. Anyways, have a good rest of your day, night, evening, morning, whatever it is there. I will see you in 2 weeks with more comic books. I might get some reviews out too. We'll see. Anyways, bye. Where is the off button? Oh, there it is.